ado, please join me in welcoming our mayor in Auckland, Len Brown.
The most multicultural city, not just in New Zealand, but in the world. So here's some greetings. I ngā iwi ngā mana ngā reo, tēnā koutou katoa. Talofalawa, talofalei atu, malolei, taloha ni, ni sambula banaka. Ni hao. Well, there's a few here, nice. And namaste. Satrikao. Salam alaikum. Beautiful. We could go on all day. I could give you a half an hour speech and that'll be it. And I jest you not, 200 different ethnicities and cultures represented in the most beautiful, most livable city in the world, and I'm the lucky guy who's the leader. I want to thank you for making me the leader for all of Auckland. I love you. For those of you who did not vote for me, I'm still annoyed. I'm coming at you over the next 2.5 years. So, I'm so pleased to be here today, and this is my kind of crowd. This is the crowd that is Auckland for me. These days it's the way Auckland has become and what it will increasingly be into the future. So it's not about ifs, buts or hows, it's about when, why and who's doing it. And so I'm the leader of the change that is about how we as a city go forward and how we propel the country in behind us. And so I just want to talk today about Auckland's experience, and for those of you who are not Aucklanders here today, welcome. Spend a lot of money while you're here. Stay a long time. And so particularly the wonderful delegation from America. Great, I love those American tourists, it's great. Last week we started a discussion. I actually had a prepared speech, but I binned it. I had lunch with Uzra. And Uzra gave me a sort of a sense of where Auckland needs to go forward and the importance of Auckland connecting into all of its communities and everyone who now lives in Auckland, that they have a sense that their view is cared, embraced, that we want to have their view drive this place forward, and that there's no one or no organisation standing in their way to achieve their destiny, their hopes and their dreams. Did I get it right, Uzra? Man, I got that right. And so that sense of an embracing city, a city that is prepared to look past, work with your colour, your race, your ethnicity, your culture and your creed, and still generate energy in that unity of purpose to deliver out something special to the world is what my message to you about today is. It's about hope. And it's about a sense of us working together as people, no matter who our backgrounds and where we come from and how many years we've been living in this city, in our townships, in our villages, in your streets and houses. So we are doing something very special. We're starting an extraordinary conversation in Auckland now with the beginning of the super city. And we're doing what's called a spatial plan, which is a plan to embed and set a blueprint for our growth over the next 25 to 30 years. It's called Auckland Unleashed. And this plan is a blueprint for how we'll build this place, how we'll build our communities together, what we will do to preserve our natural beauty environment, and what we will do to get great economic growth in the city and really lead our country out. But the greatest challenge, Auckland's greatest point of difference in New Zealand and in the global context, is how well we, as people from extraordinary diverse backgrounds, live, work and get on with each other in a personal sense, to the extent that that drives our economic growth and drives our global position in the world. And I believe that it's our diversity that is our greatest strength, still largely untapped. And again, Uzra and my table of confidence agreed with this. We're at the front end of the journey rather than the back end. And one of the table members asked me, Len, but how long will this journey be? And I said, I've been to the top of the mountain. I've seen the promised land. We don't know how long this journey is. And I guess I'm rather glibly paraphrasing Martin Luther King Jr. He didn't know, but he knew where we're going. And as the person empowered to deliver the vision for Auckland, this is the heart and soul of my vision. And I know that we are going to get there. I just sense it in my bones. You'll know a little bit about my background. You had a very brief sort of introduction, but raised in Otara, a township right in the heart of the emerging multiculturalism of Auckland and New Zealand. First of all, the Pākehā and Māori coming together, and then the Pacific nations coming in, and then all of the Asian nations, and now the Middle Eastern communities are coming through. And so it's a huge melting pot in a little community of 30,000, and I learned my life. I learned about leadership. I learned about understanding, tolerance, and the importance of working with people across our differences, and sometimes taking it slow, because that is not the easy way, the hard way, to ultimately ensuring that we all work together. So I took the word unleashed as the vision for Auckland and as the title for the document that will set Auckland's future, because I'm looking for Auckland to unleash its potential through its ideas and its energy and its passion, and the fact that we can proudly say, I am an Aucklander and I love my city and I love the people who are here, and I want them to have a brilliant life in this city, and for this city, through its sense of inclusiveness, to be a model for the world. And I absolutely believe this is our destiny. The world is watching what we're doing here, because in other parts of the world, as you'll know, they struggle, and particularly in the large urban cities, with issues of multi-diversity, multi-ethnicity. The European cities have been rent, France in particular, with their challenges of understanding and dealing with the issues of race relations and being welcoming in a civic context. So my first principle in this document of Unleashed is inclusiveness. And I also know that we're at the start of the story, so not at the end. So we're not in a perfect place. And so another table member reminded me, so does your Auckland Council reflect the multi-diversity of Auckland? And no, it does not at this time. It is a journey we're on, and it will, it must. And so we're instituting changes in this first council that I hope will actually lead to us being further along that journey, and with good pace. So, for example, we have a Māori statutory board to respect and agree and acknowledge the special place of Māori in New Zealand as the original first people of this land. And so we have an independent Māori statutory board that represents their whakapapa. We have an ethnic council that has just been established right now, and we have some representatives here today. I see John Hong, I see Bevan trying down there. Who else is from the ethnic council? Can you quickly stand up? Stand up so we can give you a good round of applause. Board. So 3 key advisory boards to represent some of the most significant issues for us in terms of how we come together. And those are advisory boards that, in my view, the statutory board have a key role to reach back into the communities, go through the gatekeepers and get straight into the heart of the community and open up those channels to make sure that people in our homes, in our streets, no matter what their backgrounds, have a sense of commitment and connectedness into the Auckland Council, into my office, and a sense that we're all a part of the same urban entity. And I love what we're doing, and we're doing this deliberately around ethnic festivals and occasions. If Auckland is to be the true global leader in delivering out a multicultural society that lives in tolerance and understandings and absolutely gets genuine go forward out of that diversity, then the likes of the multicultural festivals that are at Mount Roskill last Sunday was brilliant. Diwali, we do Chinese New Year festivals in a huge amount. Lantern Festival this year was massive. And I'm seeing increasingly the whole of the community of Auckland arriving at these festivals, enjoying getting to know the culture of the base of that festival, and then secondly, enjoying the occasion of being with us all. That for me is not only a huge important part of the psyche of Auckland and bringing us together, but it sends a message to the rest of the world. Oh, look at how we do this. We're not fighting each other, we're getting to know each other, we're understanding and loving each other. And so we're reaching out, and so when I'm looking to promote Auckland as a great global destination, a place for people to come and stay in, and that's why I want these Americans to spend a lot of money while they're here, that a part of our special nature is our strong focus on art and cultural experience for all of the people who make up we as Aucklanders. So our togetherness is something that we promote to the outer globe, is come and experience Auckland. It is the most astounding place of human development and togetherness you're ever going to see and you can experience. You don't need to go to the world. You go to Auckland and you see the world, touch the world and feel it in one place. Now what a vision is that? That's a vision for us to embrace. And so I'm genuinely committed to the sense of unleashing that potential in our place and being a global leader, an absolute benchmark setter for the rest of the world as to how we do this. And so what are the practical outcomes of that type of philosophy? Having come from the South Auckland community, people often look at Manukau and say, God, look at the economic growth in that place. Jeez, massive business development. 800 new businesses set up in the Manukau community each year alone. A third of the new businesses in Auckland set up in the south. And they say, oh God, it must be because Fisher & Paykel's there or the airport's there. It's rubbish. You know who's there? It's all you. All of the people who, when they shift into Auckland, they don't move within 5 kilometres of the airport, I don't know. But anyhow, they mostly shift into the southern part of the region. And they're coming in with this. I want to make a change. I've shifted to this country to get a better life. I've come here to get freedom. I've come here to get an education. I've come here to get a future for my kids. I've come here to get hope to set up a business. And so what a great amount of energy is that. That's energy, that's ideas, that's enthusiasm. That's what drives economic growth. And we need to absolutely capture that. So the great hope is to ensure we build strong, resilient communities in a great city. But beneath that, even more important, great energy and dynamic for economic go forward. That is the wellspring of growth in Auckland, I believe, since its inception in 1871, and we're all migrants. We are all migrants. My family originally came from Scotland, England, Ireland, and a bit of Kahununu down from the east coast. And so we are migrants. We're all adding to this story. I just want to conclude with this thought. I loved just listening briefly to the young students who were coming in and as international students experiencing New Zealand and some of the hardships they face, and even in this city that, in my view, is now reaching out to them, they're still struggling. This young fella was talking about having 60, 80, 90 job interviews and getting turned down constantly, but finally has got a job with one of our most preeminent accountancy firms. And I thought it was a great story, because when I talk to the young people of our city, I talk to them about resilience. I know about resilience. I died twice and I became the mayor of the Auckland Super City. I know what it's like to come back from the dead and win. Not me, you should be clapping my wife. She put up with hell. So, this young fellow was talking to me about my story, about our story. It's about how you build a community together and you do not give up. You do not leave the room. You stay in the room of humanity and you make it work. And so this young fellow went through all of those interviews and got his job. And the message I tell our young people is it's not how often you're knocked down in life, it's how often you stand back up. And this city is about encouraging people to stand back up. And I'm here to say to you personally, and I say it to every single audience, when you think you've been knocked down, you ring me, you contact me, you tell me it's not working for me in this city. And I'm going to help you to stand back up and keep standing back up like you did, young man. It's an impressive story. So, my message to you really today is a sense of hope and a sense of assuring you that we share a common hope and expectation and a dream in this city. And I want to encourage you to come on this journey with me, with us, and build the world's most beautiful place. And I believe we can do it. And so, to take your assurance from the audience here today that you support me in this dream and this vision, I'm going to ask you to sing with me at the conclusion of this beautiful speech. This song that I want you to sing, I'm going to sing this song here, and I sing it mostly in the audiences that have an overwhelming ethnic background, because many of you, if you've got citizenship, you would have had to have learned this song. And it's one of the iconic songs of New Zealand, but I like singing it because it's short and I'm short. And I also like singing it because it talks about love. And the one thing that I try to convey to people is my sense of passion and love for the community and hope for our future. And so this love is ostensibly between one poor fellow and a beautiful woman. But we just sort of morph over that, and we'll think about the love that we have for each other and the hope we have together. And it's called Pokarikariana. I want you to make one change in this song. You'll normally refer to Rotorua in the second sentence. Now, Rotorua is not Auckland. I want Auckland to be the new Rotorua. So instead of Rotorua, we'll say Ngāwaia Akarana. Akarana is the Māori word for Auckland. Akarana. Isn't that beautiful? So, I want you to join in with me. I'll be listening keenly as I'm singing this. We're only going to sing one verse. And it will represent the unifying spirit of us all here today as we're working on this great, great story, this great journey of Auckland, and our ability to show the world we can do it. Pokarikariana, Ngāwaia Akarana, Whiti atu koaine, mai no ana e. Very good so far. Eine, hoki mara. Download to Facebook.
Thank you very much.